guys, welcome to Bloggers United. Welcome to another video. And today is time to still talk Pozo Classico news. A news from Sport came out, and I'll be reading that to you right here. Be leaving the link to the news in the description down below, and then we'll go ahead and discuss what it's all about. Barcelona played a game of two halves at the Santiago Bernabeu. There were reasons for optimism in the first half, and pessimism in the second half. But one of the conclusions shared among the club's hierarchy was that Lionel Messi was too alone. The consequences of that reading is that Barca are obligated to work intensely to arm Messi with a competitive team so that he can enjoy his final years at the club. The challenge is clear: not to repeat the mistakes of previous seasons and sign players that end up on the bench or in a secondary role. Barca already know what they want: at least two defenders and two forwards, one capable of playing wide and the other a number 9 that can rotate with Luis Suarez and become his long-term replacement. Depending on the market, they're also open to signing a midfielder. The club know the squad needs renewing, and the objective is to surround Messi with a team capable of fighting on all three fronts next season. In defense, they will look for center back. Tatiana only has 3 at the moment: Piqué, Lenglet and Umtiti, as well as a right back, to finally solve the problems generated since Dani Alves left in 2016. The white player has a very defined profile. That's where Neymar comes into it, one of the players who has best link with Messi in recent years. The Brazilian was the big talent last summer, but his signing proved impossible despite various heavyweights in the dressing room expressing their favor for him to return. Finally, the club also know it's essential to sign the right striker, as they look to replace, in the long term, one of the club's greatest ever goal scorers in Luis Suarez. It will not be an easy or quick summer, but the club know they have little room for error. They must build a competitive side. Alright, so like I said, this will be in the description below, and this is coupled with the news, with the main news that Sport broke today, and how they kind of called it, which was Messi is alone. And this thing of Messi is alone, it's heavily annoying, first of all, because for once, they call Messi was alone in a Classico, meaning that Messi is not surrounded. And to be honest, I was gonna expect this, obviously, but if I was gonna expect this as well, I need to tell you guys. So if you guys, to who of you maybe haven't been watching football for a long time or don't know how the media act, well, they basically do this. If your side loses a really important game, they start saying, oh, you need this and this player, and this is normal. But it is something that is obviously a lie. First of all, let's call it for what it is. It's a blatantly lie, because Barcelona were better than Real Madrid for most part of the game. And for 55 straight minutes, Barcelona dominated Real Madrid, and we generated 67 chances of a lot of danger. Griezmann had a chance which was heavily dangerous. Actually, I was also going to talk about Eder Sarabia and what he had to say, but I think it's just that he just did that to highlight the players, because I'll talk about it in the following days. But basically, it's not that Messi wasn't well surrounded yesterday. If Messi would have scored the 2 clear chances that he had, if he would have taken one of them, maybe things would have been different. This thing of Messi's not well surrounded, I don't know what you mean. You cannot account to lose half of your forward line for pretty much half the season. You cannot account for that. That's not something that is normal to happen. That you lost Dembélé and Suarez at the same time for pretty much half the season, it is not normal. You cannot account for things like that. But in terms of Messi's not well surrounded, Messi is alone, well, I don't know what you mean. Because let's go through the Barcelona first 11, because they're saying here that they cannot sign other players that are going to the bench or they're going to be in a secondary role, right? That means that they're going to try to sign first team players. Alright, let's go ahead through the squad. Ter Stegen. How are you going to improve Ter Stegen? I don't think it's improvable. At least for Barcelona terms, it's not improvable. Like, in terms of how he plays with his feet and his ability with his hands, it is not improvable to improve Ter Stegen. Okay? Left back. We have Jordi Alba as the starter. And okay, he's not having a great season. But, yet again, he is one of the best players in the world. Or at least he's one of the best fullbacks in the world. And yes, he hasn't been fit this season, but like every player can have a bad season. Like it's just not. There's no question for Jordi Alba that he's still one of the best fullbacks in the world, and improving him will be very, very difficult, if not impossible. Right back, we have Semedo and we have Sergio Roberto. Both of them, who I think are very good right backs. They both are really good. I think that improving them is really hard. Like it is doable. I have a couple names, and I've talked about Jose Batal as one of probably the main candidates. But in today's day and age, who would you say are better than Semedo, like straight away? Probably by performances only Trent Alexander-Arnold, maybe Ricardo Pereira, and Kimmich, but Kimmich has been playing in midfield. So out of those names, only Trent Alexander-Arnold, it's clear in just in the way that he's been playing this season, that might be better than Nelson Semedo. And are you gonna take Alexander-Arnold from Liverpool? No, you're not. So improving that right position, it's not easy. I think there's players that can potentially be better than Nelson Semedo, but that are 100% gonna be better than Nelson Semedo. I don't think so. It's not easy to find that. Center backs. They mentioned that we only have 3 center backs, and I wonder whose fault it is. I wonder why Todibo is not getting any minutes. I wonder why Todibo was loaned to Schalke for no reason. So, but let's go through our starting center backs. Piqué, on one hand, one of the best defenders in the world. That I want him gone from Barcelona. Doesn't have to do with his on the pitch performances for most part. It's for his extracurricular activities. But Piqué on the Clásico was the second best player behind Ter Stegen during that game. So how are you gonna improve Piqué? Very difficult. Probably only Van Dijk is better than Piqué at the moment. Like, if I really have to think about it, probably only Van Dijk is better than Piqué at the moment, and that is already stretched because Van Dijk actually, I think, hasn't had the greatest of seasons, to be honest. Then Lenglet and Umtiti, to one of them a World Cup starting winner, and then you have Clement Lenglet, who played really well last season. So improving them two, it's not easy. It's doable, maybe, but it's not easy. Alright? Now let's go to our pivot position, Sergio Busquets. Who is better than Sergio Busquets right now? Like, right now, on performance-wise, who is better than Busquets? Casemiro has been playing really well this season. Kanté, it's not been really his best season for Chelsea. A lot of incontinuity. And I'm talking about this Sergio Busquets. I'm not talking about the best Sergio Busquets from a couple years ago. That there's no discussion on who is better. Busquets was the best defensive midfielder in the world when he was at his best. Rodri, I don't think even close to Busquets. Rodri defensively, we've seen it this season. He's just not up to the part. Like, yeah, maybe you can put Frenkie de Jong there, but I don't think that he's best position either. So improving Sergio Busquets, even this Sergio Busquets, it's not the best version of Busquets, it's difficult. Let's go for our center midfielders, De Jong and Arthur. How are you going to improve De Jong and Arthur? That for our style are probably the best 2 center midfielders in the world. Maybe Kevin De Bruyne. Maybe Kevin De Bruyne could be a thing, but that's probably the only one, and he's very expensive. Then you have like names like Bernardo Silva, and the board actually trying to sign Fabian Ruiz. So, you know, good players, all of them good players, and if they come to Barcelona, they're welcome to come. But are they massively better than Frenkie de Jong and Arthur? Not really. let's go into our forward line. We have Messi, who is the best player of all time in the team, so that's not improvable, obviously. We have Luis Suarez, who on his day is probably still the best striker in the world. We have Griezmann, the marquee player for France that won the World Cup, who not long ago was being nominated for the Ballon d'Or, and it's one of the best players in the world when he's on his day. We have Ousmane Dembélé, who before he joined Barcelona pretty much I think only missed 2 games in 2 seasons. Only missed 2 games. And then after, due to injury. And then he played unbelievably. Everyone wanted him. Real Madrid, Liverpool, Manchester City, Manchester United. Every single one of the big teams in Europe wanted Ousmane Dembélé. Like, improving that, it's difficult. Who do you take that's better than Suarez at his best? Like, Suarez, it's still right now, if he was at 100% physically, who is better than Suarez right now? There's not many players that you could say are better than Suarez. I don't think Lautaro or Werner, if they're competing with Suarez at 100%, they're still not better than Suarez. Like, so that means that they wouldn't start in theory. Then on the wing, who do you take to, like, you know, battle with Ousmane Dembélé for that other wing position? Well, Jadon Sancho, yes, he's been really good. Kylian Mbappe, Neymar, okay, debatable. All of them debatable, because Sancho was pretty much Ousmane Dembélé. Like, if you look at Sancho right now, that's what Ousmane Dembélé should be, and that's what Ousmane Dembélé was at Borussia Dortmund. Instead of scoring that many goals, like, yeah, he got more assists than goals, but like he still got a monster number of assists and a decent amount of goal return. Kylian Mbappe is in the other side. He scores a lot of goals and gives a decent number of assists. And Neymar is just not going to happen because he sued the club again, and I don't think that the club are going to go for Neymar again. Plus that he would cost like a fortune to bring him back. Not even talking about the other topics, which is like, I'm just not going to go into the Neymar topic right now. So basically what we've highlighted right now is that improving this Barcelona side, it's very difficult. And first of all, it's very expensive. Now, coupled with what I've said right now, let's look at what they're trying to bring in. The first names that were brought up today. Apparently, Barcelona have made an offer or are starting to, formulate an offer for Lautaro Martinez. They don't want to pay the full release clause of Lautaro Martinez of 111 million euros. So they're gonna try to offer Inter Milan for Lautaro Martinez 70 million euros plus Rakitic and Arturo Vidal. Do I think that's a reasonable offer in comparison? Do I think that Rakitic and Vidal are worth 40 million euros? Yes, that's about right. And I think that, yeah, in theory, that should be okay if you sell Lautaro Martinez that way. Now, the problem is that instead of signing Lautaro for 70 plus Rakitic and Arturo Vidal, you could sign Timo Werner for 60. And as much as I like Lautaro Martinez, Werner, the difference between Werner and Lautaro is very minimal, but the difference in price is huge. Because Werner is straight up 60 million. So, it's kind of difficult evaluating that situation, but it's not the best thing that you could do, because the best thing that you could do is sign Timo Werner. And before that, the best thing they could have done is sign Erling Braut Haaland for 20 million euros. There's also been sounded about that Ferran Torres is an option, because at the end of the season he's going to only have 1 year left on his contract with Valencia. He's been shining. He's been absolutely spectacular. Ferran Torres is a fantastic player. Like, if I had to say, Ferran Torres is like David Villa coupled with like, I don't know, like a very good winger, like powerful winger with like David Villa. That's what I would call Ferran Torres as. It's like the wing version of David Villa. That's what I would probably say Ferran Torres is. He's been absolutely fantastic. And yes, if we need a depth in the wing, then sure. It's been talked about that maybe 1 year left on his contract, 35 million euros could be decent. Now my question is, what about Ansu Fati? What about Trincao? Because you already spent 30 million on Trincao. Like, what about Ousmane Dembélé? Like, And is Ferran Torres going to start? Because Ferran Torres has been playing his best football on the right side. Maybe he could play on the left. He plays well down the left. So it's going to be what? The striker, Messi, and Ferran Torres. What happens to Griezmann? What happens to Dembélé? What happens to Suarez? Is Ferran Torres really going to be the starter at Barcelona if he comes in? Not really. And then if he comes in, what happens to Ansu Fati? What happens to Trincao? You just spend 30 million euros for nothing, and you're going to waste the potential of Ansu Fati for no reason? You let go of Carles Perez, who was perfectly good player for Barcelona, for 15 million euros, and you let go of Abel Ruiz, who could have been given an option for 6 months. Like, for this 6 months, we could have seen something of Abel Ruiz, and you let him go for 10 million euros. So, you see how I can be annoyed at the moment, and how the things that we've been doing it's just not the right way to, build the club. Like we need elections to happen for once. Bartomeu needs to say, like, right now, we're gonna have elections in the summer so the players can be calm, so the players can give 100%, because I believe that at the moment in time, these players, especially Lionel Messi, will not be playing at 100%, even if they can, because they know that if they win, this board not only stays until 2021, but if they have the audacity of winning the Champions League at any point, the board gets re-elected, pretty much. Not Bartomeu, but the next person ahead of Bartomeu gets re-elected, which will be the whole career remaining of Lionel Messi at Barcelona will be the same as this, and they don't want that. So, to a point, I understand that the players are not given 100%, but I would rather that they do, and for them to do, we need to call for elections right now. We need to pressure for elections. We need to stop thinking about weird signings and just, thrust in La Masia, do the things that we're doing, like get the best out of the players that we have, because we have some of the best players in the world. You can't tell me that Dembélé was one of the most prized assets in world football, and all of a sudden he's like nowhere to be seen. That Griezmann was one of the best players before he came to Barcelona, and now he looks like a shadow of himself. That Coutinho was probably in the top 10 players in the world, and now he's a bench player at Bayern. Like, what is going on here? But anyways, that is gonna be it for the video for today. Leave me your opinions. I wouldn't be completely against doing these 4 signings if we did the right ones, and if we shape the squad about it. We sell Coutinho, maybe you have to sell Griezmann, maybe you have to send Trincao on loan, like you have to definitely get rid of Rakitic and Arturo Vidal, things like that. I wouldn't be completely against all of these signings, but things need to change. Anyways, once and done, leave me all your opinions in the comment section below. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you next one, Blaugranas.